At 6:30, I'd like to call this meeting to order and ask everyone to stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Holly, roll call, please.
Councilperson Bettis.
Here.
Councilperson Houghton.
Here.
Councilperson McCollum.
Here.
Supervisor Shepherd.
Here. Here. All right, so we're gonna open this up for public comment. First, I'd like to welcome David Lucas. Floor is yours.
Oh, I wasn't expecting this quick.
You still have to stay for the rest of the meeting.
New individual water supply wells in the state of New York are tested for various chemical components, but also tested for back teas, water clarity, pH, alkalinity, things like that. Most people in the town, we have a well, and when your place was built, these are the things that are normally tested. In the New York State Part 5 regs, there is a clause that states additional testing may be appropriate for contaminants associated with potential sources such as oil storage facilities, junkyards, gasoline stations, landfills, industry, and active and historic agricultural use. At the present time, believe it or not, there are no requirements in the town of Hoosick for PFAS. We are the birthplace of PFAS poisoning, and yet we do not have anything on the books that should be tested. So the state of New York will still come in and test new wells, and PFAS, what I'm suggesting, requesting, hoping for, just add PFAS to the list. The county health department is all good with this. As a matter of fact, they're in favor of it. Because we're such a hotbed in this area, there are still places that aren't tested, such as we live in West Hoosick, headed towards Busker. Probably within a half a mile radius of our house, there's only two parcels that have not been tested. One is they knew nothing about it and they literally just moved in. The other was that they bought the small little cornfield next to us in fall, had a well dug, put their life savings into the house, as many of us have too. I went over not that long ago to introduce myself and, say, welcome to the neighborhood, and mentioned PFOA. They had no clue what the heck it was. What are you talking about? And I said, so let me get this straight. And that's kind of what got me going, is they just had a newborn 3-4 months ago, and that child's been drinking. Our area is hot, 42 parts. That child's been drinking PFAS-laden water since its, birth. And there's nothing in our statutes, bylaws, anything that says it should be added. It's literally just going, yes, it's a known, and if anybody is up on, if you like reading all this stuff, carcinogenic, mutagenic, there's every genic that's under there that they're proving. And some of the new things are nervous system issues. Not saying that mine was caused by drinking PFOA until we knew what it was. So what I'm hoping for is that this group will recognize the fact that we're living in the highest, one of the highest known PFOA areas there is, and yet we still have no means of protecting the citizens who live here. You can, and I've talked at length to the state, they will come in, if you have an existing home, they will come in And if it hasn't been tested, do the testing, and if need be, they will install a POET system, as many of us have. And that's not an issue. There really isn't an issue that can be raised to protect the health and well-being of everybody. And the only two places that don't have them in our section of West Hoosick is the guy who just built the house and the other guy across the street from him. He just doesn't care, I don't think. When I belabor the point, he gets the glazed over look, and I go, no, you really have to. And I don't think it's going to happen. I don't doubt whether he'll ever have his place tested. But the couple with the youngster were, I'd like to explain, I'd like to say what they really were, but decorum prevents me. No one was looking out after their well-being. So I request that PFAS as a whole, not just PFOA, PFAS be added to the requirements of digging a well in the town of Hoosick. It's in a nutshell.
I'll just respond quickly with not knowing, totally understand what you're saying. And to some extent, the CWG meetings, they talked a little bit about how the, residents have access to all these things, but the concern is what you just mentioned, the, unaware nature of people that are moving in. All of us that have been here through it understand the risks, but we still have, how, from a legal standpoint, in terms of, there'd be a deep dive, I'm assuming, to.
Yeah, so just at first blush, it would be a local law to change your building code for new homes and wells. We would have to look a little bit deeper because DOH and the state have kind of preempted this area. DEC, so you couldn't do anything that contradicts anything the state does.
Right.
But if it's something that can be done to supplement what the state has in place, tailored specifically in the town code, that may be a possibility.
And we could put it in the town code, but wells are not controlled by the town, they're controlled by the county.
Correct. The county is well aware. I talked to him this morning. The state is well aware. I talked to him 2 weeks ago. The state does not have anything, and believe it or not, the county doesn't either. The county doesn't because it's not a county-wide issue. It's a town of Hoosick issue. Town of Pittstown is probably 400 yards from my house. I guarantee they're in the same plume, if you believe that one, that caused our area to be saturated with PFOA.
Not to mention the Pittstown dump. We all know that stuff is dumped there for years.
Thank you. And which way does the water flow? So yeah, the state.
But I'm just trying to think, who is the best organization to prevent the county if they're testing the water?
They can test the water, but just like if
They won't approve a well and septic unless passes.
but say another town on the other side of the county, they don't have PFOA. We are the main owners of this problem, expecting the town of, Buskirk or Valley Falls or Scottsdale or wherever the line is over there. It's our problem and nobody else's. The county won't do it, put a county code, because then it would encompass the entire county where they know it isn't. It's not an inexpensive test. The state will still come in and do it. They're getting funded. So then it becomes down to our small area that has the problem. And the solution is painfully obvious. Here is the problem. Here is the solution. We want people to come into the town, okay? But when they're digging the well and you're testing for, everything under this, well, Bacteria mostly. But when you're doing all of that, that is the perfect time to test for PFAS, the whole, not just PFOA, to determine where it is. The county, it can't be their position for the entire county to do it. And the state, I spoke to them at length, and it was shot down on the state level for political reasons.
So two things. One, definitely willing to look into this, and keep you in the loop. And I don't just say that as like, we definitely want to look at that. The other thing is, I'm just wondering, so we have the CPWG meeting is Monday, a week from tonight. And we're actually talking about the town aspect with poets and, where things are moving in the near future, as we keep moving beyond the past. So, we could get kind of some Q&A going with, I'm assuming Ian's going to be there. I don't know.
Yeah, should be in Barbara.
And, yeah, DOH.
DOH.
I'd like to at least just get them on, put them in the hot seat a little bit with asking them some of this.
Absolutely.
And then we'll, on the local end. Because like I said, we talked a lot, especially at those CPWG meetings, about how we all have access to these things from the state, but whether or not people understand and know that, especially people that are new, that's the real questions. That's good. That's a really good point. We hadn't thought of it, honestly. Any other questions from the board?
I would say, yeah, Monday at 6 o'clock at the high school cafeteria, there'll be a public.
I used to when I could.
Yeah.
I was here when we
I
started.
was gonna say,
I don't see our regional still taking a hiatus, but
a lot of it, yeah, it's good.
I appreciate it coming in.
So it's Monday, next Monday.
This coming Monday, the 15th,
15
at the high school.
7.
Six. And the main, one of the main, so they're going over the village water quality report, right, Chris? And then the poet, on the town side of things, what we've always been wondering and asking ourselves is where do things go when all this is said and done? You have all these houses that are non-detect. And, the companies are not going to be responsible most likely to pay in perpetuity for houses that they did not contaminate. But there are a lot of houses in this town that were not detected that post that probably want to keep them, but not necessarily pay to maintain them. So there's just a lot of questions there. Hopefully it won't be I hope it's an interesting, productive meeting, not an interesting, scary meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Mary Ann, I know you wanted to address the board.
Yes, I wanted to talk about revising the travel trailer rules in the town zoning. So there's been I know there are various places in town, but on Johnson Hill Road, there has been a travel trailer there. And the original intent was that he was going to build a home there. So it was allowed because he came in and he got a building permit to build a house. Well, over years gone by and he hasn't done anything. And now he's told the building inspector he doesn't want to build a house, he wants to build a garage. So in the meantime, he's had an infant. So he and whomever lived there with an infant, and the trailer, which is originally supposed to be pulled off to be dumped on a regular basis by an entity, isn't for whatever reason. So they now have a porta potty and 20-yard that sits pretty much on the road, and the footings for probably a garage. But they have no plans to build a house. So we have somebody living in a travel trailer, like that's what they do full-time every day, all day, is live in that travel trailer. And they're going to build a garage and they're going to have a porta potty forever. So what are we going to do?
It also looks like there's electricity hooked up to it.
Oh, yeah, he had electric put in it,
Yeah,
and he
like,
had,
how do you do that on the travel trailer? Like, that doesn't seem like it fits for Toby.
and
Yeah.
he has, I think he had a well done.
Right tickets.
Yeah, I do see the trenches that he's dug.
Yes, which don't seem like they're far enough from the road, but
Yeah.
until he asked the building inspector to go measure them, Jared hasn't measured them, and he doesn't even know whether they have the right setback. And then while you are building, do you get to put a porta potty on the road? you know, and he barely pulls his truck off the road. So I know it's his problem and he's gonna get hit, especially in the winter. But the 20-yard is also on the road, and that's actually where that lady died with the. kids in
young
the
kid,
car.
yeah.
So, I just.
It's a valid concern.
We've had, and this actually extends back to, I know John looked into it, and then Ryan, you've looked into it, the original intent of that law and what ended up being written into the code are two different things. And that's a problem because there are multiple spots that have been brought to our attention by residents where it's being violated. In the case of the porta potty, that's illegal. It's only on construction sites that they utilize
Yeah, you
for a
can't.
temporary situation.
DOH is not gonna be okay with it. I mean, the porta potty as a permanent alone, I think should be sufficient to write tickets at least and get them into town.
Well, technically, it is a building site, so I don't know.
Well, and that may be.
Building permits aren't indefinite.
Right, so where the law, and again, I'd have to pull it back up, but we have looked at it and it's something that's going to have to get attention from us because there's a couple things going on with it. One, we need to specify length of time. Not just from a building standpoint, but from the use of.
Temp housing. you know.
Right, and that's the one, I don't know where I was going with that. That's the one main thing because that is not being utilized properly. The other aspect is, winter, and so we're gonna have to make that law basically wordier, if you will, because the intent was accurate, it just didn't get written. And I don't know how long that's.
Just book on my time
Me
again.
too, but I know we talked about it last year because this came up. The other issue that's going on is, and this is coming out of the assessor's office, I heard about it today, is permanent, shipping containers. What we do on the tax roll and how that works, because there are more and more of those are popping up as everything from permanent storage to living in them. So we need to take a look at some of that.
Okay.
So. It's brought up.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else here to address the board? So announcements are there, fire department, that's still coming up. Summer concert series is going to kick off 3rd and 5th. And more info on that is on Facebook. Flag Day ceremony. I am out of town that day. The Legion did reach out and then invite me. Obviously, it's a public event, but so if anyone's around for that, awesome. I'm out of town with Sunday. So,
Every weekday.
no, it's Sunday at 6. This coming Sunday at 6. So the other announcement is what we already alluded to. Chris wanted to just give the rundown on that CPWG meeting.
Yeah. Monday.
Was there anything else on the agenda? So it was I think it's the village water report.
Village water,
And then
and Josh
the
was going
poet
to
talk.
present, and then DEC there.
I was blown away last year. Yeah. Josh gave the report. It's like, learn a lot about village water.
Yeah.
Listening to him talk about it. It was crazy.
He gives
When I-
us some good numbers in May, and June's great.
When I heard that was the agenda, I was like, oh boy, I was actually really into it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, those are the main things. So, all right, Holly, clerk's report.
For the month of May, I had summer camp AM PM care, $19,120 or $60. Conservation DEC, $1,406. Dog licenses, $221.50. Marriage licenses, $80. Miscellaneous death certificates, marriage certificates, $40. Building permits, $285. Pool passes for morning swim $45 and swimming lessons $165. And I only take those when they're included in a camp membership that they're trying to, they write one check, and that's the only time that I will take those. Otherwise, they go to Ashley. And then for family passes, $240. For a total of $21,642.50, and remitted to the supervisor is $20,236.38. So I have facility use. Or I'll just go right from the top here. It's the pickleball tournament for, it looks like it's in August. And then the rain date's gonna be same August, it'll be the next day. They're asking to use the pickleball courts. I think I talked to you about this today, or like,
Yeah.
I don't know that physically need an insurance binder for that
So-
because they're,
Ryan, how does that work? Because normally if we were to do something like this, it would be in one of the facilities, not necessarily just at the courts that are open. But it is a tournament being put on by a local club.
Yeah, no, you should still absolutely have insurance.
So additional, okay, so see that.
so that is not with this right now. So,
Yeah, so we'll look for a motion. I mean, obviously we can talk about it, but we would look for a motion with the, contingent on the proof of that additional insured. So I know Art was in here, 3 months ago, maybe, and explaining what they're doing. It's a great thing. I can't imagine anyone will have issues with it. I'll look if there are any questions. So I would entertain a motion.
Last thing you mentioned was about the pool passing for the day.
Oh, right. I haven't talked to him about it,
No,
but we can figure
we
that
can
out.
figure that out.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about that next month, because we still got, I mean, this is a couple months away, so, I guess I'll entertain a motion to, pass the facility use for that tournament contingent upon the insurance. We'll do that first.
Motion started.
Second, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
so the next one is for Joyce Brewer. She wants to do a kids pool party with karaoke on August 6th. Just have to get together with Ashley to make sure that there's going to be enough lifeguards on duty or enough interest from the lifeguards to be on duty. She's looking from 6 to 8 at night. He does have an insurance binder with that, so she's all set.
So, couple things. Remind me with the tournament. I know we're backing up to that, but this is similar to this. Is there a fee associated with that?
Well, it's pretty much open to the public.
Open to
so,
the public and
right.
it's supporting what.
Yeah, I think.
Fundraiser.
Yeah, the first,
Yeah.
they're gonna give the benefit.
So
to the rescue squad.
the reason I bring that up is in the case of this, so I talked with Mary Ann's on the committee. I talked to her today at another committee meeting. So chime in if you want. This is basically doing this to get a kind of a feeler out there and get a first pass at this, because they're planning a larger one next year for the village 200th anniversary. So, I mean, we need to make sure the lifeguards are covered, you know, from a funding standpoint, but I wouldn't want to see, personally, I would want to see a facility use go, you know, payment
Right.
sought after. How do we have to staff it?
Before you approve that, we have swimming lessons going until 6:30 PM.
So the time would have to be adjusted.
How many kids can?
Three lifeguards, we fit up to 120.
20? They estimated 100 kids.
100, yep, 110 attending, yep.
We can put an additional, so there'd be the 3 in the chairs, and then you do additional, they walk the surrounding or the perimeter of the pool.
All right, well, so either way, I mean,
Can't start until 6:30, right?
well, it would actually be more like 7, right? 'Cause you
Yeah.
gotta have, there's no way you can start at
It's parent infant, so it's babies, so they take a little bit to get out of there.
just till
Okay.
6 or 6:30.
6.
So we can't do it, so it couldn't be until 7.
7.
Which I know like it's a little later, but it's kind of, you don't have a choice. We can still definitely pass this. They have the insurance. So that would be the change. That
Okay.
It would be at 7 just because of the fact that the pool was busy till 6:30. They would be able to, would they be setting anything up or?
Well, the DJ.
The karaoke, yeah.
So
Yeah,
like they could totally set.
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
It could start promptly, so.
Is there a reason why they chose the 6th? Could they move that date, knowing that we've got that and it would end up being pushed back later?
Well, I mean,
Because
every,
that's a Thursday, right?
well, every
Yeah.
week,
Thursday.
but every weekday would be the same, right? Must-
So that's the parent infant that goes from July 7th to the July 23rd, and then the second session is July 28th through August 13th.
Oh, so even the 7th would. Okay, I just was curious if
Well,
the
the Friday
could be,
would be fine. There's
The
no
Friday
day
would be
left on
fine?
Friday.
yeah, so maybe that's a suggestion.
So why don't we
Table?
make it, well, we could
I
table
mean,
it or
it's August.
we could, yeah, but
Approve it with
we can approve it with the, contingency of date, time consideration. And we can handle that through you.
So on Friday, they can start at 6?
Yeah.
Okay. So that time works for that Friday.
What time were they going to go till?
8,
8, so it'll still be daylight.
yes.
It'd have to be. We don't have lights.
Can't take chances. All right, so, yeah, so that might actually, they might have to move it because it'll be dark by that time. of year, 8:30 and stuff. So, all right, well, for the pool party, I would entertain a motion to pass it with the contingency of time and date specifics, and that will be done throughout.
I'll make that motion.
Jackie, do we have a second? Second. Any discussion? All in favor? Say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
You said it was around 100 kids ish.
100, yes.
I know we're gonna have another facility use, but it'll end up being in July. So Jacob Hahn reached out. They want to do, I can't remember the name. This is the email. I gotta talk to him because I never received an email. They want to do they did it in Bennington last year, maybe the last 2 years. It's a certain day. I want to say it's either August or September where it's a first responder day where all the different first responders around can set up, and they just, meet and greet, try to push what they do, try to get more volunteers. They set up some activities to try to bring in families and potential volunteers. And it's a specific day that is kind of celebrated or whatever all around. They want to do it and they wanted to use the athletic field. I said, I'm sure it would not be an issue, but I have not seen anything yet. So I'll reach out to Jacob and get whatever info. Either way, it's a great idea, again, to help out.
And then the last one that I have is the band.
Oh, that's right.
We did put that on. We didn't approve that because we didn't have the insurance. I have the insurance now. So,
Right. So same as always, rain location.
The rain
for
locations.
band concerts
correct.
throughout the summer. Insurance is there, so I would entertain the motion to totally pass that facility use. Motion, Chris, is there a second? Any discussion?
We always have some kind of issue with the bathrooms.
Which,
They're
That's a mess, man.
Oh,
Especially with the camp and everything. I think the camp had issues.
so I guess we just need to
Make sure.
put that plug in,
Okay.
because we can certainly pull the plug out with that.
Okay.
So.
Will do.
We'll just say that. Yeah, I forgot. Hopefully we'll have sunny Wednesdays. All right, Holly, anything else?
I don't think so. I'm good.
Oh,
You should probably vote on that motion.
Yeah, I was just thinking, we don't,
Why?
we gotta finalize that.
all right. All in favor of the community ban using the ring, say aye. Any opposed? There you go. We got it?
Thank you.
Good.
We're just looking out for you.
Thanks, Ryan.
I got you.
Player here. Yeah, gotta get that, gotta get paid somehow. All right, Paul.
That's me, okay. Paving, we paved a section of Beechwood, section of Burgess, Blue Bridge Road. We're gonna chip seal those roads a bit later on in the season. Maybe by the end of the month. Pool up there, everybody knows what's going on with that, I think. It's gonna be cleaned, finished tomorrow, raised up. So I talked to Tom today. He's gonna be back. So,
To tell them how good it looks.
yeah, and he's got, up with the chemicals going and stuff. Yeah, I think Tom helped him. The budget was late, so the chip funds, they're coming out, probably putting, I don't know the exact numbers, but it's a little bit more than this last year. So,
Well, really appreciate you guys doing everything you've done. Obviously, the rooms are great as always, but the pool, the idiosyncrasies of this spring, we appreciate you guys. I know it's been more hours than what we'd like, but thank you.
with a little luck, maybe we'll have it done by, Monday.
Ashley wants to know if we can turn the heater on.
That's gonna help us out.
It's gonna be pretty warm, so that's a plus.
Yeah, it's gonna take a while for it to boil up, huh?
So we are just, we'll talk, I mean, Ashley, you're next pretty much, right? So we'll talk about. We are gonna have some backup scenarios that we're just to be safe. So with that said, any questions for Paul before we move on? Tiffany and Jared's reports came in. Ashley, so why don't we just do the pool because we're already here. So essentially, plan is still stay the course. Hopefully it works out with timing, pool temp, all that good stuff.
I mean, if it's the temperature's higher, they should be fine, cool.
It's a lot of water.
No, I mean like them personally. If it's really, really hot, they should be good.
Yeah.
Pull that one.
I hate to lose. Kind of let it quit before we even get them there. It'll be
It
good.
happens, that's why I said,
Oh, really?
yeah, the water has impacted. So.
I can be a life coach. All right, so I have been, and we can talk, I have been working on just some backup
Mhm.
spots. The size and depth is the real issue. So minimum 7 feet deep, but 25 to 50 yards. So it's not, has to be a fairly long pool to get the laps in the deep. So either way, we are going to get this drained so that we can then get our permit.
Mhm.
No stress or anything, we're good. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So now that's all.
So I did call the Department of Health and let her know, our contact Wendy, just our timeline, what's going on. And she said, no problem. Timeline's still good. The goal is to get her everything by, I'll send it the 19th when our training is done. So by the 22nd, she should get it. And then that week we should be getting. Hopefully. So for the pool, we have training with Keegan. He's from the Bennington Y from June 12th to June 14th. On the 12th and 13th, they'll be at the rink, doing in-person training, CPR, first aid, all that stuff. Then the 14th is majority of, that's when we'll be using the pool. Staff orientation will be June 19th. We will be here for all staff, and then we'll head to the pool and the rink, to kind of give tours and things like that. Swimming lesson signups have been going well. They're coming in like crazy. They've been giving them to Holly. We are gonna open up and post one more day at the pool, just to have people stop in and drop off last minute things. For the pool, actually, we have a new, applicant who applied for admissions. We've usually had 3 in the past. We had Ava Case. She couldn't come anymore. She got a new job. So Grace Eastman has applied. She is working on getting signed up for a first aid CPR training, because we had ours last week. So I'm just looking to appoint her as an admissions.
So. Okay, yeah, if we can do that, we'll have to just make that resolution 61 and do it poster. We did last month, we did the resolution for the mass amount of people, but we can't lump them in, assuming, right?
No, yeah, you just do a separate.
So Holly, the one we have to vote on tonight is 60, correct?
Yep.
So resolution 61 is going to be appointments. Next, missions. We had mission. That month. So, can I get that motion? please?
Motion.
Jackie, Bill, you agree with that? Bill second. Let's just do it all.
Councilperson Bettis,
Yes.
Councilperson Houghton,
Yes.
Councilperson McCollum,
Yes.
Deputy Supervisor Hanselman.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, back to camp. So the forms we have left to submit for the camp permit are just the lifeguard certifications, which we will get shortly after this weekend. The database checks, which are all done. I just have to send them to her, but she wants everything all together. And then our training form. Camp staff and pool admissions did CPR AED first aid training with Jane Conti. We did it on Thursday. Everybody's all set there. I do have another contact. I don't know, Holly, if you want those 4 you guys to get trained. She's willing to come and do it. If you guys want to give me some dates.
Okay. I'll check with those guys.
Okay. So that is still an option. I did reach out to Mr. Daly and Mike Lilac, the athletic director, about the turf. I reached out a while ago, didn't hear back, but I reached out again this morning. Just still a little bumpy. Really nervous about getting the kids in there. But I will stop in and check with Pat tomorrow too, just to, he's hard to get a hold of at school sometimes. So I'll stop in and just try and chat with him there.
Let me know the outcome of that, if they cannot help us out with those.
Mhm.
I'll start looking around for some carpet installers to take care of it for us.
And we are getting camper applications in. We are almost to that number. We're not fully there yet. So as of right now, I will email these to you. We have 50 for week 1, 62 for week 2, 58 for week 3, 56 week 4, 60 week 5, 48 week 6, 50 week 7, and 56 week 8. So we do still have spots available for kiddos.
Put another push out on social media.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that would be wise, just to re-up it so people know.
Yes. My other question with social media is, should we be posting that the courts will be closed for that tournament, that pickleball tournament?
Yeah.
Probably, even if you
She is on. So she's
Oh, hi, Sarah.
listening. Yeah, no, we.
There, and then, I did reach out to the Bunker Hill boys, that's Eamon DeGraff and Chris Marsh. They're willing to do the shirts for us this year. I stopped up and just took a look at the samples that they had for us, and they're gonna get us an invoice too. And then AEDs, the only thing we need right now is child pads. I believe you ordered them
I think she did send something to me.
on their way. I did speak with Jane, Conti. She said that adult pads are fine. We just have to be strategic about where we place them, which is got that. And then I think that is it. Oh, and the cubbies. And cooperating.
Still working on a CPO.
Just info. You want that?
How you make out with supply?
We are good with, we have all of our training supplies. We're borrowing from Bennington Hospital and the school. They have a bunch of the stuff that we need. And then I did just put in an order for camp and pool stuff. And I have that receipt. And then Abby and I are gonna go this weekend to get some more stuff.
So we don't have anything on CPO. Oh, the cubbies. Has anyone seen that? This was a recent.
Yeah,
Um,
I just want to know how durable they are. Are they gonna last? Are they gonna get rusty? They're made of steel.
I think they're coated though.
They're coated where if they get scratched, they're not gonna.
I don't know,
come
the
together.
specifications are on the back of that,
Yeah.
on the back of that sheet, yeah. I think I was talking with Ashley, even if they did, it would be something that I think that you could probably have pressure wash and repaint. I don't know. I'd have to ask them.
Yeah, I just worry, I think my biggest concern would be like if they did get scratched or something, and then it got rusted, and then a kid went to put their stuff in there and somehow got cut and the rust got it, you know what I mean? Like, for me, it's more of a health liability thing. Just because they're steel. I don't know if we can find something that's made more like the benches that we have over there. I don't know, I think those, I don't know if those are resin or,
you just have a rubber coating on it.
yeah,
Um,
Oh, like the picnic tables?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I don't know if they make something like that, so you have to go out and research.
It might be in the books that I have for the pool. I haven't looked at the cubbies, but I've seen the picnic table.
Is that you line?
your powder. What was how many, so we would need minimum of 5 sections, but probably more, is that,
I think whatever we could provide would be,
so,
So you just use it for the kids' shoes and
Mhm.
towels and stuff.
but we can be creative. We don't need to use, we could pick a spot.
you were using.
Mhm. Yeah. We pretty much are the only ones that do utilize them, but there are families that go and they do use. the cubbies.
In terms of numbers though, so there's.
So 1 to 5 units is $509 a piece. Anything over 6, the price obviously drops.
My thought for tonight is we are going to have to come together to appoint a CPO soon. We just got this. I have no issue with the board taking a few days to look at this. I have no issue with it. The way I look at this is we've always had cubbies. It's going to be a nightmare not to have them. And with the way the tank purchase happened and we got a significant savings, we're not outside of what we thought our budget was a month, even if we buy these.
I'm not worried about buying cubbies, I'm worried about buying the right cubby.
Mhm.
Yeah, that. I haven't seen these in how, like I said, I haven't spent much time on this because the last number of days have been nuts with.
think I agree
Pool
with
and
Jackie. There's gotta be some PVC options out there. That aren't gonna rust, aren't gonna stain, aren't gonna.
I could also more like traps, like the traps.
Yeah, kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's who we use for the,
We use them for the. They might have something.
so let's
Who was that, Wendy?
architect, that's the, and I think their name is different now, right? I have their catalog, because we were looking at, we met with them to see about what like new equipment potential there would be to line up with what's there now that the wall is down. So when we met with them, and I want to say their name is different. Either way, it's not.
But they would probably have what you're looking for. And something
Yeah.
that would be good for outside
Outdoor.
environment.
Right.
They're all
And I think that that's what I was
Yeah.
looking for. I was not looking for wood.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wood is
Oh,
a bad idea.
Yeah.
So let's do a little bit of research. There's no reason we can table the Covey decision for tonight with no issue. I'm confident we are going to have to get together, figure out the CPO situation. So, yeah. But we can do the research too, so let's find some options. If, if someone finds an option with some pricing, just get it to the board, we'll circulate it. I'd like to think that we'll have somebody figured out in the next week, CPO situations.
You're expecting a special meeting. That would be.
Yeah, we'll have to.
Okay.
The options for the pool operators haven't really panned out timely, so we're hoping to have figured out, by tonight.
It won't restrict us from getting the permit. We have Mark and Tom still, and I've submitted those. They'll still be on.
Yeah, Mark will still volunteer. Tom's always there to volunteer. Big thing is, we're just really trying to make sure that we have a non-volunteer that, kind of holds additional accountability over Tom. Not saying, those Mark and Tom are like two amazing pool operators. I'm not saying it that way, but, if they're both out of town,
Right. If
we
we
need
get into a
someone on
bind.
payroll that can call one of us and say, hey, we have a problem. So,
My only other question is, so when I talk to Pat, is there anything we have to do with the kids coming to volunteer to do the turf? There's no insurance.
we never have in the past.
Okay,
Whether that's the right answer or not, I don't know.
okay,
But, I know the last couple of years they've come to help us.
okay.
I think
We have the standing
The
relationship.
school is,
I
we
think
have-
the sheriff
yeah.
falls under there.
We have the thing with the
Okay.
school anyways.
okay.
Yeah.
So,
So I'll just keep you posted on that. My plan is to talk to him tomorrow. Person. Other than that, that's all I have.
thank you.
Thank you.
We'll keep in the loop with the pool.
Yes, and just let me know about the facility use. I can talk to
For
the,
the-
the night. I'm gonna let Lucy and Jess know right now the potential dates, just so we can make sure it's staffed. Then we can make a post on Facebook too for that.
Yeah.
That's it,
What night was the walkthrough and training?
the 19th, June 19th. 9 AM. We're gonna start here at 9 with Casey. And then we'll head probably over there around 10. Yeah. Usually pretty good.
I know.
Yeah, feel
But if you
free.
need anything.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Okay.
We'll, here, talk about it. Yeah.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you. Stonewall, don't you? All right. So we're good there. My stuff is there. I'll talk in the report. I think there's something that banner. Bill.
As far as EV charging stations, we have no communication with Livingston. They haven't reached out to us, so just gonna let it stay there. So there's
Gary,
I had to attend the funeral, so I didn't get to the meeting for the anniversary. But I did notice that all the hometown hero banners were put up in time for Memorial Day. And I was told 24 new ones. So now, instead of going up to Mechanic Street, in the area of Hoovers, it goes all the way to the top of Cumming Street. The banner, so if anybody's looking at it. And I did go to the Armed Forces Day, Liberty Park, the Maple Grove Cemetery. If nobody's ever been there, all the white crosses are in honor of soldiers that paid the price and didn't come home alive. And I think there's 3 that they've never found. And one of them, the brother still lives in a homestead up off of High Street. And not only they didn't find his body, but he was a pilot and they never even found the plane. So, but they're still, and if you look at a lot of those crosses up there, you look at the names, I found at least 3 that still have a brother or sister that's still alive here in the town.
Jackie.
You're gonna skip me.
Hey,
Look at, yeah, good
I
job.
wasn't
Eric.
making it 3 months in a row with making you upset.
All right, Holly and I have not really gotten back together since the last time we worked on the board terms. So Holly, I'd like to set a date, but after June 18th, because then I'll be available during the day.
Okay.
And that'll make it a lot easier than us trying to cram it in 45 minutes. And then the false fence and playground is going to start on the 22nd and 23rd. We're going to get the fencing up where we took that wall down. So false fence has got us on the calendar for June, which was really great because at first they said they were looking at July. So we are going full steam ahead on that for June. And that's it.
Chris.
I'll get the insurance wrapped up. Took a little while there with Matt and Diane, Marshall, Sterling, were helpful. Eric's been on it for a while, so with his guidance, we kind of got this all that stuff. Good for another year. So,
Now you're a pro, so you can keep right at it.
We'll keep on it and be ready to go for next March. The other thing I had up at the battlefield in Hoosick, they got a lot of events. There's a good calendar of events that came in my newsletter from the Historical Society. Maybe we can get that on the website or share it.
Yeah, we should.
Looks like there are a lot of hiking days. The first one started on Father's Day. 4 new trails opened up there. Try to get people on them. You know, yeah, they really, I couldn't believe the map when I started looking at it.
How about great trails?
All around a mile or less each one.
A mile in, mile out,
I think
so 2 miles.
there's blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you gotta really see the image. I'll try to get it sent over. I was kind of looking through it in the newsletter. It was cheap in there. It's pretty interesting. So the kids that know what we're doing on Father's Day, I think.
Nice.
All I have, well, there's a new paving on 67 up there. Try to reach out every school year. I reach out to the page. Find them. The speedway through there. I can hear up from my house. They make the corner as Stewart's and by the time they hit the stretch, they're going pretty good. So the fresh flat top for sure.
Racetrack.
It'll be a racetrack for a little while. But that's all I had.
Business, we received reports.
Thanks, Bud.
Any questions for Ray? So, let me run down through this. Hazard mitigation, I reached out again to the county and we did have a discussion, well, via email had a discussion, I should say. They had no idea that the company, which is called IEM, which is the larger firm that is helping with the rollout of the mitigation plan. They were unaware that they gave me, one of the 2 emails I needed to be able to hash credentials to get on there. And I know it wasn't anything to do with the change up from Mark to me, because I have all those emails. So ironically, Ed reached out to them, copied me on, Ed's from the county, copied me on it, and we still have nothing back. So it's been like 3 weeks probably. I mean, we're delinquent, but it has nothing to do with us. I'm in no hurry, till they get their job done. So, that's that update. So two things with the staff, tech and recreation. One, recreation software. I know that was a lot of money. Coming up on budget season, I think we need to take a second look, maybe a workshop setting where we can actually take a half hour and talk with Holly, Sarah, Ashley. Because I do think we need to go that route. I'm not saying it needs to be with Edmonds, and I'm not saying it needs to be all of those modules. That was like like 3 or 4 different modules. So we don't need all of it. It really comes down to the first one to go into to take the most stress off the staff and us. The registration, camp. So I know we looked at it, we were all in sticker shock, but we need to, in my eyes, take a look. It's nothing we have to do right this minute, but Sarah did tell me, I believe they said it was a 4-month or a 6-month. You were in that meeting. I wasn't. Was it 4 months or 6 months to get it all going?
I am not sure. Right.
So even if it was 6 months, it's probably close enough if we budgeted for it, for next year. It's not a huge amount of money. Really figure that out. But I think we need to reel that back in like a workshop setting. Does not have to be now, just to put that out there.
Okay, and the company does a la carte, so you can pick and choose. So you don't have to go with a complete package.
Sure.
Okay.
And that's how all theirs are. That's with, even with, Edmonds with IT, it's the same way. It's kind of pieced together, which is my next, so we have a new proposal. I forwarded you guys a bunch today, and it wasn't because I didn't remember to do it. I had like 4 things come to me since yesterday that are new, so I apologize. One of them, I don't think you have yet. Nathan is here. He did give us a new proposal, and I want everyone to take a hard look at that. We definitely, once we look at that, I need to sit down and talk to Nathan and make up our mind. Great segue is we reached out to Edmonds 2 or 3 times to get the assessor's office a laptop for the field. We have not heard anything back. They've been dropping the ball nonstop. We need to get away from them. So we gotta figure it out. I mean,
We don't know about the song. Especially if it's just the registration or database, like housed upstairs.
yeah,
Not a hard flip.
yeah. Yeah, I'm reasonably unhappy with all of it. So I really want to. So I mean, how do you guys want to address? We know where we're at with that, and we do have some software that would remain with it. We have some major software, but because we can, piecemeal, it's not a big deal. But I think realistically, what we need to do is we need to have that maybe one workshop to do it all, and
Yes,
we can have.
That's what I
We
was.
can have 2 different, we can talk specifically with you and then kind of roll that into what it would look like in recreation. Make sure that we have Ashley and Holly would be here anyway, but Ashley and Sarah in the room. So you and me can get some dates together. We'll get through June and get through the craziness of school ending and then get right after it.
Yeah, mid-July, working on this.
Okay.
Decide the piece. It's good.
Yep. Okay.
After that,
Yeah, no, I'd love to sit down. And in the meantime, everyone, if I didn't send it to you, I will.
I copied it.
Yeah, it's in here.
It was a crazy. I had between the garden, the pool, and then the IT.
Way ahead of you, Eric.
What's
We
that?
got you
Way
again.
ahead,
Right?
way ahead of you. You even have it in your book.
I looked at it on my phone.
Within that email I sent you.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it was good. Yeah, so. All right, that's good. Well, yeah, we can get some dates and then that. Good. All right, America 250. I reached out to I3 Imaging. I have some specs. So we talked quickly about, having some sort of a banner recognizing 250. I talked to Kevin O'Malley, who runs a concert series, and he was thinking about doing something, but hasn't really had, anyone saying they would help or whatever. So the thought is on the night of the 3rd, which I mentioned that in the announcements, they are doing one of their concert nights. During one of the breaks, we're thinking about just doing some sort of recognition of 250, potentially having, whether it's a couple of students, Sutton or something along those lines, do some patriotic song, some sort of quick little, ceremony. And if we were to have a banner, we could either have a couple different banners that, we could buy, or we could have one that is here up until that day, and then we can move it over to the gazebo. I talked to Jonah, we're talking a few $100s. It's nothing crazy. So I'd like to pursue that as long as everyone's good with that.
This is the state's 250, not ours.
America.
Yes, okay.
So, yeah. So,
We still 51 years.
yeah. Yeah, so anyway, I'll keep everyone in the loop with that, but I got a wording figured out, but I3 was all about, I called them and within like a half hour, he was measuring the gazebo and those guys were like right on it. They love helping out the town, the village, the school. Like they're really good about, community oriented. That they've been great to the rescue squad. So, I haven't heard anything back from the Suttons regarding the Ken Baker Memorial trees. So if I hear anything more, we have resolution number 60, which is just getting back to our 2026, 2027 insurance policy renewal, giving me permission to sign what I signed. Oh, you really are. Stuff. All right. So, do I hear a motion for resolution number 60, giving me authorization to sign the renewal for insurance renewal for this year's policy? So, very. I'll go public.
Councilperson Bettis,
Yes.
Councilperson Howard,
Yes.
Councilperson McCullough,
Yes.
Deputy Supervisor Hanselman.
Yes.
Supervisor Captain.
Yes. Okay, carried. We did the pool and camp, so that's done. Any other new business before you move on to old business? All right, hearing none, old business. Comp plan, next meeting is June 10th. It was gonna be last week. We pushed it off a week because things didn't line up right, scheduling wise and some work we're doing. So still main focus, looking at New York State and federal grants, outdoor recreation, the one, part of the group, we have a meeting, Zoom call coming up Wednesday, with the Hoorah people, looking at what we can do more for, for area along the river and the river itself. Village and the town has done a lot with them in the past. Just looking to see what we can be doing to continue that and increase that. One of the things that's become very apparent, and this is something we'll talk about at that meeting, is to let you guys know, a lot of the things we want to do really do, it has a huge need for us to be on the same page with the village. These projects are very, interrelated with what is going on, whether it be the river, the greenway, water, sewer, everything that, not everything, but a lot of the things we look at the larger level really need some assistance and communication with the village. So we're going to be coming up with a plan to kind of roll that out, get a little more assistance hopefully from them, or at least, hey, we're good with this. We want to put in work in areas where we can get things done, not just dream. So something we're gonna be working on. We've started that already, but we're going to be pushing that a little. Playground committee, so we are going to be meeting soon. I talked to Jill the other day. We need to get mulch there, whether we want to or not. Mulch is too low under the structures. And it also could use it just from like a looks aesthetics perspective. So we're working on getting that. Obviously, I won't do anything until I get, figure that out. We really need, under the structure specifically, really playground mulch. And actually, coming out of the playground committee, the one thing that's been very apparent to me is everyone really wants to figure out before we do anything more with added equipment. People want like an upkeep maintenance plan, which makes a lot of sense because we have all these issues with the playground, and it really comes back to things that are going on there that shouldn't be and things that aren't kept up. We don't really have, we ask a ton of the highway guys, and we really need them working on the roads, So the group wants to meet and try to figure out a way to get more of the community involved, just to do the upkeep and maintenance part of it. And, usually people just want things, but this group is like, you know what? We've got some great stuff there. It's a great space. We need to figure out how to keep it really nice and then figure out what the next piece of equipment was, which is all good by me.
I don't know if it has to be like a multi-day project or what, but you could tie something into Earth Day.
Yeah.
Because everybody's always going around and doing tidying up
Yeah,
the village,
well,
and that could be a space
and
where people go and.
The village cleanup day, they always ask like what they can do, but I think the concern is that, it's that constant trash. If it's more of the things that
it's like
happen
an
like on the
everyday
weekly
thing.
basis,
Yeah.
yeah. So like what groups, yeah, so the community service, I think we just need to come up with a basic plan, get it in motion. And then once we know it works, then it's like, all right, what are we gonna fundraise for that next? This equipment's crazy. I think I mentioned this a few months ago, like that larger of the two structures that's there, that thing is like upwards of $90,000 in today's money. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Tiny things are like $10,000 to $20,000.
How we kicked around for quite a while last year about putting another camera up at the courts. Now we had the issue of kids damaging pickleball courts and coatings and all that.
Yeah.
We was talking about putting a camera
On the firehouse roof.
side of the fire department. Well, there's a pole right there at the end of the courts that has a light. There's a power there, going over to the fire department for.
I think it's the span, you need to have it's Wi-Fi too, but it's also like the span, isn't it? Because those cameras can only capture so much. And if we put it there, we're only gonna get this, we're not gonna get like the arc and. So they, okay, well, it's good to know, thank you.
Activities. So the.
Internet.
That and the community garden.
No, I think we could probably still utilize the firehouse.
Yeah, no, Holly, I'm just saying to Holly, and we both forgot it. So Ray, Holly and I met with Jackie Berry from Nextiva, is that how you say? Nextiva, whatever.
Company.
Yeah. So we have we need to straighten things up, and we're going to. Problem is that we don't have internet at the rink. So is it Nextiva? Is that how you say it? So they work off of, you need internet. So BCN is the carrier for the rink, pool, and that Hoosick Fire State Police or whatever.
There.
And the community.
Yeah. So we really want to get rid of BCN. It's a pain. It's a pain for Ray, so that's, gotta take care of that. But it's wasteful because we're spending money on these phones. We don't, I mean, it's stupid. With that said, we need communication clearly at the pool and at the rink. So the answer to be able to, we can have everything trunked together through Nextiva, but we need internet over. Jackie did this legwork, Jackie Berry, and it sits in our emails and not in front of us tonight, which is what it asked me to be, and I apologize. So what we can do is we'll forward on the expenses, and we're gonna have to just work. It's nothing that's gonna happen right this second anyway, unfortunately, but I'd like to get it in motion as quick as we can. So,
She actually called me today and wanted to know what the status was of that, because she doesn't know what to do with those two numbers that were on the phone bill that aren't ours.
I need to get canceled.
Connect them.
I know, but she needs something in writing and something signed in that email from you stating that that's what needs to happen. And then the other portion of that is to,
Well, I didn't know if we needed to do due diligence. The one for Church Street needs to get, I can take care of that tomorrow. But the one from, I haven't, so,
with the state.
yeah, I don't know if we need to call somebody. So Ryan, the background on this is that at the Hoosick Fire Department, there is a substation for the state police. It's very rarely used. There's a landline. It must have been part of the original agreement. The landline still exists. Whether or not it's being used, I have no idea. We're still paying. It's a waste. So we're trying to get rid of all these old landlines, switch everything to new. So,
Right.
I mean, I don't even know where to find that. I mean, we'd have to like pull the agreement.
Yeah,
Looking, there's nothing.
So
Because that right
you
there.
could be able to port the number.
And there's no thing.
Yeah, nothing. All right, I'm gonna have
Yeah.
to work on that.
Yeah, and we should be able to port the, like, next year should have the ability to port that number from BCN to Nextiva's cloud offering. And then you can have that phone number associated to any extension, Holly's extension, yours.
But they wouldn't have the phone there.
You can still put.
yeah, you
On
could.
that internet, you can put Nextiva.
Well, there they may, but so like for the rink and the pool, we don't. That's, we got it there.
So. Let's place that comment to the print.
Oh, it's the town. Yeah. No, so we have quotes, like I said, so we need a,
Cameras over at the print.
they're all, those are all wired.
Hardwired.
Those are all
I think.
hardwired.
I think they're
like old
hardwired.
school cameras.
Yeah, they're not what Wi-Fi cameras. They're,
To
I
the
think,
office. So like if we want to look at things that happen out on the court, we have to go into the office in the.
it's actually over at the
pool.
highway. It's
Oh.
at the highway.
Well, it goes from the, how does it?
I don't know. It's
Okay.
whatever,
Okay.
how to review it is over at the highway because that's who used to do it. It's Bill Shyland.
But he would go over.
Goes into computer.
Do it.
There's.
Yeah.
It's another way that you can all.
Yeah, no, it goes,
But he used to review it.
they must have done it. yeah.
So that must mean that they're connected via some sort of. If he's able to see it remotely, that would be a internet based.
Yeah.
Protocol.
It was at the pool office.
Yeah.
I don't know how it would, since I know Mark, I don't know how many times he's told me I go to the pool office and look up, like when they would have issues with the
Oh,
police.
Well, I know that he was the one that used to do it.
So we need a schedule, let's get through. Gotta get the dates. Dasney, Sarah and I have been working on that. Doug, I'm gonna get you that, timeline for that Dasney. We finished it. And we have been in contact with, a lady from Dasney. We have sent stuff to Jake Ashby's office. I need to get it over to the debts. Jake obviously being the state senate side, he needed it, but, as soon as Sarah was able to establish, communication as I'm the new person and play that, and of course, to stay in Stonewall, that always occurs. So she put quite a bit of work into that. Timeline is good. It did, unfortunately, because when they started giving us that like month after month lack of responses, that's when the emails kind of stopped. We all know when those of us that were on the board, we kept calling and we had all the different things doing. Of course, there's no paper trail. We all know that. So all the emails, all the physical papers in the file of that DASNY grant have been put onto a timeline. It's been sent to DASNY. And we're gonna just keep pushing it. Scott is like pretty hot after it all. So it'll be interesting. I'm sure we'll have more information next month for that. Until I hear from the village, that's point. I've spoken with Jim, Wendy, and Ashley. Once they lock down a date, we will post that meeting for them, but it's not going to be right this minute. All right, so.
Sorry, let's touch on the Hoosick and Village of Hoosick Falls Sport Agreement.
Well, it's just, the one we have is fine. They're just not getting enough money. So it's the whole, it's been going on for months. The court officer only gets X amount of money as per the agreement to 2014.
Okay.
Hasn't been updated.
No, I remember.
So
this.
we're just looking to
Okay.
make sure they're fairly compensated to adjust for inflation and increased expenses outside.
Different court.
So I know, that's exactly where my brain went, and I was like, wait a minute,
Oh,
Not the pickleball.
you gotta be a little more detailed.
I mean, it's been on there for months, so I don't know, anyway. So upcoming dates, other outside of the ethics board. So we need how do you guys want to address, we need to get the phone line and the internet stuff figured out. We're gonna need a CPO. I'm just wondering if we should schedule something now with the anticipation that we have to have a CPO by a certain date anyway. Yeah. So just look at my calendar. Then we got the CPO in June, Tuesday nights out. So my next available meeting for anything. So we've got the CPO to address. We've got internet and phones.
Guarantee.
Well, the IT is gonna wait until middle of July.
I'm gonna do it sooner. You also don't get that.
No, I ought to take the stuff from Jackson. Take 20 minutes with him before we do anything. So let's hold off. So just keep an eye on your emails about a special meeting for the CPO, the internet and phones. I'll get figured. That's my fault. I did not get that on here. I made a note of it last week and I literally didn't put that, so I apologize. Ongoing solar projects. Good news, I talked with Hawthorne. Well, it's not Hawthorne, it's Soul Energy. So CS Energy is now Soul without an E, something. I wanted to clarify something. So the two things that are written right into building permit from a community engagement standpoint, it's 5 years from a $5,000 scholarship, not the whole length of the thought. So it's $5,000 per year to Hoosick Falls Senior, and it is not just tech-based, it's ag, natural resources, and/or technology. The first recipient will be getting their award this year. So she's already been chosen. I confirmed that. They've been in contact with the guidance counselors at school. So that's underway. I'm sending Brittany from this company the information from the food pantry. They're doing a $1,000 donation for 10 years to the food pantry. I'm working on an additional donation, which I'd really like to tie in, if could, to playground. I don't have confirmation yet, but my thought, and this is nothing that I've decided, like this is just I'm communicating with these people, but they like to do in the towns where they do projects, they like that, not anything to do really with solar, but more with the natural resources, the nature side of things. They like to do donations where they can have some sort of informational, like placard about, different things of the area. So whatever that may be for here. My thought was trying to get that new fence paid for and having that placard type thing put on like the entrance way. She said the one example was there's an area where they did it where there was something about like endangered species that was known in that area, and like they did like a whole little thing about it. So like educational. Anyway, I'm working on that, but the things that were written into the plan are scholarship, starting under motion, and the food bank. So, any questions I can relate to them? It's the same girl that I've been talking with. The issue was that the companies changed hands, but it's pretty much the same people. So
It's the same people.
So, well, some of them, I mean, the one guy that is local, Todd Segura, his name was, he left. But the company is the same company. Another manager took Todd's role. That's kind of what confused Jared in the whole process, because, all of a sudden there's no correspondence with this one, gentleman that we have been dealing with for many months. So we have it straightened out. We ended up getting a hold of them by way of calling the contractor and just saying, what the heck is going on? We're not going to do anything until we get some correspondence. And we very quickly got a phone call and an email. So we still hold plenty of cards. And they know that.
So should we refer to it as Soul instead of Hawthorne?
No, it's still the Hawthorne project. It's so convoluted. So there's the Hawthorne project, there's Soul Energies, and then there's the contract is another one. I don't know if they know. But the communication is back going, and Jared is working on the concerns. He's already addressed them. Will be continuing to do that. The concerns raised regarding solar over the weekend, with the noise and whatnot. Jared is doing his due diligence. He pulled all the information he needs to act as the building officer. So he's on it. And certainly, if anyone has questions, just refer them. The best way to do it is to refer them to Jared, and then at that point, obviously we can help. But Jared is the one that needs to follow through with the plan that's in place. And, as I told Jared, everything has to be done right. Period. It's black and white, following the way it's been written, and that's it. It's all we need to do. So, anything more on that, Ryan, or no? Okay, so you and me are going to get together, Nathan. Text me tomorrow to figure out if we have 15 minutes, we can get stuff hammered out. And then in that time to figure out the date for July. Okay. We do need to enter into a very brief executive session regarding personnel.
Did you want to address the Hoosick Community Garden?
I was hoping she was going to be here. So I'm going to be honest with you. I have not sent that all to you today. I have not looked at it. Between the pool and the solar stuff, my day was smoked. So I would like everyone to take a look at this. Any concerns, let me know. My thought was, if Bill is willing, I wanted Bill and Paul to stop over to meet with whoever was going to potentially do these minor modifications to be able to collect water. And if they give it the yay or nay, I'm good with it. And I didn't think anyone would, but I think if Bill and Paul just meet with them quick one of these days, we don't need to be, there's no reason we need to micromanage anything. Anything we can do to help them is great. They're just trying to, I have personally, I think they need to figure out, and I've told them this, they need to figure out a way to tap into more village water.
And they're looking to try to get away from the village water because of chlorine.
Yeah.
So rainwater is perfect.
Just gotta figure out how to collect enough of
Pretty
it,
tough to
utilize it.
I've lived through enough drought now. But hey, this is a great step, and I understand chlorine's a trick. Yeah, so I'll, we'll figure it out. I told Kayla, and I thought that's what would happen is that if the ball would stop over, give the okay. All right, so I'd entertain a motion to enter into a brief executive session regarding personnel. We got motion from Bill, second from Jerry. Any discussion? On favor, say aye. Any opposed? Okay, carried.